Hi guys, welcome back to another video on the Evo 10. I am actually working on the car. I'm not just finding problems. But actually I was filming a video of me doing a job on the car, and I noticed some more serious issues. I thought I'd best show you to the best I can what's going on, and hopefully, I know some of you have got Evos and you're more experienced than I am when it comes to these cars, so basically I'm asking for help. Can you point me in the right direction as to what the problem is, because it's not immediately obvious and I don't really know how I'd go about tracing it. So yeah, let's go and have a look. So I first got suspicious when I was looking at the brakes in the video the other day, and I looked through this hole here. I believe that is the crank pulley, although I'm not sure. And I saw this oil here. Didn't realise just how much oil would be under this car. So like I said, I was in the middle of filming another video and I've sort of decided to film this one instead. So I'm under the car, and as you can see there's a lot of oil, and we'll go into detail as to just how much oil there is. But I've just thought, why don't I just take this fascia under tray plastic thing off. This is the crank pulley. Now there's no oil here at all on the timing case, chain cover. Absolutely loads of it down here. There's oil up there as well. So all down here is oil. It's on these lines as well. It's on the bracket. It's all on the sump. I think this has been happening for quite a long time. Whenever this oil is coming from. I think this is the aircon pump. It is the aircon pump. It's all under there, and that doesn't have engine oil in it, so it's not coming out of that. It's all on the lines. It's all on the back of the engine. It's even up there on the turbo return feed. It's on the plug. The further I go under, it sort of is dry where the oil filter is. So it's not an oil filter problem. There's nothing up there. But again, we have more oil here with the gearbox and the engine mate. But the gearbox is dry up there, and the engine block is dry there. It's just oil coming out here. There's oil up to the back of the sump again. And the block is dry up there, and that is wet. And there's a little dripper there. The transfer case is dry. I believe that's the water pump pulley. It's all wet. It's all wet down there. Now then, looking at this timing chain cover, I can't see any sealant. There should be silicone sealant there. Or is it simply just a crank seal is leaking and flicking oil off, and it's going everywhere because it's hitting the pulleys. I suppose we could have a look at the top of the engine, see if there's any oil on the timing cover at the top. So there's silicone sealant protruding between the timing cover and the block. I don't know. This Evo just flipping, it's just a nightmare, innit? But I decided I'm gonna restore it, and that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, what could it be? Timing chain cover to block seal. It's possible. Towards the top half of the timing cover to block, there is visible silicone where it's been siliconed on. The bottom half, there's no visible sign of silicone, and there is oil around the timing cover. Could it be the crank seal? Well, you'd have to tell me, because looking at the crank pulley, there's definitely oil coming out of there, and that's where it is most wet. It's absolutely saturated around the right side of the crank pulley, and the sump as well is soaking, but that, I think that's just wet because it's the lowest point. If you have got an opinion or you are experienced on EVOs, let me know in the comments, because I could do with a bit of help on this one. Otherwise, I'm gonna try the crank seal, degrease everything with brake cleaner, get it immaculate, and then go from there. But before we finish this video, although it's on axle stands, and I don't usually like to do this, I'm gonna start it up, and I'm gonna have a little look around with the camera. So no obvious signs of leaks. I'd imagine we'd have to get the car up to full temperature to really see any oil leaking out. But when it's spinning the crank pulley, I can see, looking at the way it's sort of going, the oil, the pattern is like in a spiral off the crank seal. So I think it might be leaking out of there and then flicking around. And once oil is flicked onto something, it doesn't really come off. I think that's what it's, it's designed to do that. I'm thinking I will degrease everything, get it immaculate under there, and then start it up for a good hour, let it run, tick over on the axle stand, and then I'll come back to it. If I see even a slightest dribble around the crank seal, then we know what it is. Hopefully it's not the timing chain case, because that's a big faff that is to get off. But yeah, hopefully you have found this a little bit interesting, enjoyable, and I am actually working on the car, and I'm actually buying bits for it, and got a couple of mods ordered. So I'm not just going around finding problems with it, which is what it feels like at the moment. There will be some juicy content coming soon. So I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.